a tense situation has been playing out in Paris, where police say a man who may be carrying a grenade or an explosive vest was seen entering the Iranian consulate a few hours ago. They now say he has exited the building and is being checked out by police. We've got Melissa Bell, who is on scene right now, joining us with the latest. Melissa, what more can you tell us?
Well, Elaine, it's a pretty big police operation that you're talking about. These are the really well-heeled neighborhoods of Paris, sort of west of Paris, where the Iranian embassy and consulate are. They're in the same building. What we understand from police is that it was about 4 hours ago now, a man was seen entering with what appeared to be either a grenade or an explosive vest. They're not clear which, but certainly armed, and was then held up inside the embassy. Then a huge police operation still underway now. There's a big part of the Paris metro that's been closed down. What we understand, the very latest, is the man has now left the embassy and he's in police custody, and they're trying to figure out who he is, how he got into the embassy in the first place, and what he might have been hoping to achieve. But this is a city, remember, Eleni, that is right now on high alert. It has been for several years now as a result of the terror threat of the last few years. But the 3,000 military personnel that patrol the streets of France were doubled after the Moscow attacks of last month. So you see them much more. It is a city that is at its highest level of alert. And so the police and military response was extremely quick. In fact, it is one of the elite police units that had just seen as soon as news of this emerged. But the man now has been removed from the consulate, and we wait to hear more about exactly what his intentions were, Elaine.
Yeah, really fascinating. And as you say, the city very much on high alert. We can see images of police right now patrolling and looking at the scenario. We don't have any information about this man and, of course, whether he was holding a grenade or with a vest. I mean, have you heard anything from authorities at this point? Well,
the police are saying that he was definitely armed when he entered the consulate. I think the real question is how he was able to enter under the circumstances, given that this would have been one of the most closely guarded buildings in Paris. But they seem pretty convinced that he was armed when he went in. And exactly what went on during the now several hours, we understand, when he was inside the consulate, we don't have any more details of what negotiations went on, what threats were made. This is all information that we're waiting to hear. But certainly a massive police response around me now here in Paris, big part of the metro cordoned off, and police really all around this building, having encircled it now for several hours as they waited for this armed man to be extracted. Eleni.
All right, Melissa Bell, good to have you with us. An update there from Paris.
And obviously that follows the breaking news that Israel conducted some kind of a strike inside Iran, targeting a military facility near the city of Isfahan. Though this morning, the United States says that it was not involved in any way in offensive operations, and the world seems a bit relieved that neither Israel nor Iran are playing this up at all. In fact, they're both trying to downplay it. With us now is the Democratic Senator from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Tim Kaine. And Senator, if you're like me, I went to bed last night with the news that Israel was conducting strikes against Iran, and there was a very real concern of this spiraling out of control, yet we wake up and both countries are downplaying it. So how do you explain it?
John, President Biden strongly urged Israel to avoid any response once the U.S., Israel, and others very effectively defeated the missile and drone strikes that Iran launched into Israel. And that followed the Israeli attack on a consulate in Damascus that killed Iranians. The last thing we need is escalation right now. In this region, we need to de-escalate, hostage deal, ceasefire, de-escalation. That's what we need. So yes, I was troubled when I saw that Israel had decided to wage a strike inside Iranian territory, but it seems, from what we know now, to be fairly calibrated to send a message to Iran: you launched against our soil, we can reach out and touch your soil, but we're not intending to cause great harm. And if that is the understanding now, both Iran and Israel want to show that they have capacity, but they want to de-escalate. Hopefully this will stop and there will be no more back and forth.
So relieved?
It is, yeah, yes, I am. I think I went to bed just like you, worrying what would this portend, and yet the fact that both Israel and Iran are downplaying it is a good sign. So the escalation needs to stop. In this region, Houthis firing into the Red Sea, Hezbollah firing into Israel from Lebanon, the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. What we need to see is a de-escalation, and hopefully the event overnight was Israel just showing it has a capacity, but calibrating that demonstration to avoid significant escalation.